And welcome. David Levin here, Raising Your Game Today. This is Tuesday, so we're talking about the mental game of sports and competition. Fridays are for the rest of our lives. This week, I want to talk about peak performance, about playing at your best and what it takes to do that. And the answer might surprise you. So it goes without saying that as athletes, at whatever level we're at, from adult rec like me to youth sports, all the way to the highest levels, we want to play well, right? We want to play our best. That's where the fun comes from, and that's when we're most likely to win. Now, we can play our best and still lose, of course, but in those cases, the loss is easier to take. You can be disappointed, but you can still feel good about yourself on those days. It's the days when we lose, and we deserve to lose because our game was so bad, that really hurt, at least in my experience. You can come off a day like that and really question whether you even want to keep playing, right? And again, this happens at all levels. I heard a pro golfer say one time, the best players in the world are 2 putts away from saying, I'm done. So playing well is the goal. And the key to doing that, or at least one of the most powerful keys, is, are you ready? To have fun. Have fun. Now, it's easy to take that statement the wrong way. It's also easy to be confused by it, but it's a super helpful idea. So we're going to dig into that a bit in this episode. First thing I want to say is you don't have to take my word for this. You can find plenty of examples of it in elite athletes. In our Advanced Mental Game Mastery course, I talk about this fun concept a lot. And 2 examples in there are Patrick Mahomes, the great quarterback, and Novak Djokovic, the great tennis player. Mahomes on the sidelines, talking to his teammates, firing them up, getting them to play their best. He says, have fun, guys. Make sure to have fun out there. Djokovic, famous for having a powerful mental game, talking about all the things he does and has done over the years to develop that, said the goal of all of it is to, quote, feel happy and joyful and present on the court, end quote, end quote. Sorry, end quote, that's funny. Here's the bottom line as an athlete. When you're having fun, you're playing your best. I hear this all the time with the athletes we work with. In practice, when I'm just playing around, it's fun and I play great. But on game day, it's not fun and I don't play nearly as well. Now, you might think I have this backwards, that having fun isn't what makes you play well. It's that playing well is what makes it fun. But think again about Patrick Mahomes with his teammates. It's a big game, big moment. He's not saying, come on, bear down, it's time to get serious, so then we can have fun later. He's saying, make sure you're having fun right now, because that's how you play at your best. Here's the deal. When you're having fun, you're loose, you're relaxed, you're open and focused and creative. Most important, you are fully present in the moment. That's the real key. You've heard me say many times, the key to peak performance is being fully focused and present in the moment rather than being off in your head somewhere. When you're having fun, you're present in the moment. By definition, fun is not the experience of being off in your head. It's the experience of being in the moment. You think about anything that really lights you up. If you look at what's happening, the activity pulls you into the moment. Being present is inherently fun. So in one sense, yes, fun is the feeling that comes from playing well. But it's also true that fun is a path to playing well. It's a very effective tool that can help you get into your peak performance state. And again, that's exactly what Mahomes is suggesting to his guys. Have fun. Remember what that feels like. Check yourself. If you're not feeling it, if you're stressed out, if you're tense or tight or distracted, let go of that. Bring the fun back. That's the key. And it is a skill you can learn. One way to get there is what I just hinted at. Notice how you're feeling right now. Notice how it compares to what it feels like when you're having fun. And if you're not in your fun state, bring it back. Bring yourself back there. It does take some practice. In the advanced training, we call this skill scan and copy. First, you get very specific about what fun feels like in your body, your breathing, your posture, your facial expressions, how you move, and then practice replicating those feelings, those postures, all that movement stuff to get yourself back there. It's a learned and learnable technique. Another from the training is to reframe your thinking about what it means when things go wrong or when things might go wrong. Basically, the idea is to train yourself to love it all. Everything that happens, every good thing, every bad thing. You're not happy about it necessarily, but you can still love it as part of the experience. Like when you watch a game, and it's just a great game, back and forth, great plays, bad calls, down to the wire. Even if your team loses, you can still say, that was a great game. That's the attitude you want to get and keep yourself in peak fun, peak performance mode. A great example of this, George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers tight end in the Netflix series Receiver. First, by the way, he's a guy who loves the game. You see it all the time in that show, just loves it, incredibly positive and powerful attitude. So there's this hilarious sequence. You can find it online. I'll link to it in the notes. He goes up in the air for a catch and takes a direct hit right in the crotch. And that's not the word he uses for it. He uses one that starts with the next letter in the alphabet. And he's mic'd up, so we're hearing all about it, right? Right when it happens, he's like, oh, right in the crotch. He jokes with the guy who hit him, man, you hit me right there. He mentions it in the huddle. Oh, I got hit in the, yeah. He's talking about it with the staffer on the sidelines. And you can imagine that was not a great experience, right? Not a happy event. But then the next thing out of his mouth, talking to that staffer, is, don't you love football? Yeah, this is the greatest game. And he's not kidding. Even in this painful and potentially embarrassing moment, it just reminds him again how much he loves the game. That's the spirit. The Stoic philosophers have a term for this, amor fati, love the fates. Whatever happens, it's all part of it. Love it, accept it, embrace it all. And you can learn to do that. Now, you can nitpick into this not making sense in all cases, but you get the idea. By reframing how you feel about what happens during competition, it's not bad, it's just all part of the fun. You can take the power away from your worries, you can keep from getting stuck in your head, and you can keep yourself in that peak fun, peak performance state. So there's obviously a lot more to this idea. Again, we have a full training, several hours of video and exercises. But even just at this level, just the concept, it's super helpful. When you're having fun, you're playing at your best. And you can learn to intentionally put yourself into that peak fun state. And you'll get some great ideas just from watching that Netflix series, Receiver. To learn more about how our mental game training can help you do this, there's a link here in the notes, raiseyourgame.com. Make a point while you're there to look at the advanced training information page. That's the one that focuses on this peak fun competition mode. I'm sure you'll love that. For more advanced tips in general, check out the post Roger Federer, Mental Game Lessons Part 2. If you haven't seen that one yet, he has a genius between-point mental game routine that you definitely want to know about and work on for yourself. Otherwise, that's it for this episode. The surprising key to playing your best, and it is having fun. When you're having fun, you're playing at your best. All right, thank you. Keep up the good work. I'll see you next time.